Good morning. Morning, Mariana.
Good morning.
Today we have a special video for you guys. We are going to Japan without leaving Brazil. How? We are in a neighborhood called Liberdade. This is a very famous Japanese neighborhood in São Paulo. We're going to talk about everything, the history, the name, everything else, as we also show you the whole neighborhood. First thing first, I have to talk about the history. Where we're standing is called Praça da Liberdade. This square is where the whole neighborhood gets its name from. Where the neighborhood is located used to be called Campo da Forca. And then this square was also called Largo da Forca. There is a little bit of a sad history. This square was used for the execution of, I would say, mainly slaves and also the other convicts that they were sentenced, due to the crimes that they had committed, they were sentenced to death. So the execution was done here in this square. And the idea back then was that if you are a slave, the only way to get liberty, which is liberdade in Portuguese, was through death. So they would say the slaves will reach their liberty just through death. And that's why eventually the name of this square was changed after, like a couple of, I would say, even centuries later, to Liberdade. Now, the executions unfortunately were still done here even until up to 1891. Even after the abolition of the slavery, the other people that were sentenced to death, the execution would take place here. Now, another thing is that this neighborhood was not always what it is now. Because of those executions, the slaves, the convicts, and at the time the people who would commit suicide were not allowed to be buried in other cemeteries. So what they did was that they built actually a cemetery here. Then in the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century, they decided to change the whole neighborhood and turn it into a housing development. That's when it became a residential neighborhood. And as early as 1912, the first Japanese immigrants started to come here, which I will talk to you guys about a bit more. Today is a Thursday that we are here, and there is a very little street fair happening on Thursdays here. If you come here on a Saturday or a Sunday, this place is packed. You can barely actually walk. Where we are standing, the square is right there. The metro station is right down there, and also you have the main street that goes through the whole neighborhood right here. The first Japanese immigrants actually arrived here in Brazil in 1908, but by 1912 they started coming here, and there is a reason why. It was a housing complex that it became popular because a lot of people would buy multi-family houses. Most of those houses had a basement unit. They were not in a very good condition, but because they were basements, they were cheap. So a lot of new immigrants, they would go and rent it there, because also the location of the neighborhood is in a way that you can get anywhere easily for work. The population grew just in 3 years to almost 300 people, to the point that they had to open the first Japanese school in the neighborhood. And then a few decades later, the population actually increased to 2,000 people. Right on our right side of the street, this is also an oriental garden. It's a very, very small Japanese garden. We're not going to go inside because it's apparently very, very tiny. And this is most of it. What you see is what you get. Where we are now is an overpass that leads to what would be called a gate of the Liberdade neighborhood. The name of this overpass is Osaka, and from here, even though you are in a Japanese neighborhood, you can see in the distance and on this side the highway and through hustle and bustle of São Paulo. This 9-meter high structure was built in 1974 and it is called Tori, T-O-R-I-I. 1974 this was built, and in the 1970s the line number 1 of the metro of São Paulo, or the blue line, was also extended to have that station that we came from, Liberdade, to reach here, and that helped the neighborhood grow even more. We are here to see everything, go around, and I am very excited specifically for goodies, for food, sweets, and everything else that you can find only in this neighborhood. Now, let's entertain ourselves. As you walk in the neighborhood, you can see also the architecture, that everything has the Asian touch. And I say Asian because originally the neighborhood was inhabited only by the Japanese people, and by mid-20th century a lot of Japanese immigrants came here, either directly from Japan or they were the Japanese workers that they had work contracts in the coffee plantations in the interior state of São Paulo, and when they finished that contract they came here to be in a bigger city and have like better opportunities for work. It is worth mentioning that Liberdade is the biggest Japanese community outside of Japan, and that's why it is very important. It has a lot of significance. Now, I mentioned Asian architecture because after the Japanese, a lot of other Asian communities also came here. Chinese, Korean, Taiwanese immigrants also came here, and now it is mostly Japanese people who live here, but there are a lot of other Asian communities also that have chosen this neighborhood to live in. So our stop is going to be a market that has mostly imported products directly from Japan. It's called Marukai Oriental Market. Here you can get all the products, everything, like even with food, warm food, fresh sushi, all the other products that we are going to show you. And lots of candies. Oh my god. This is dangerous, Mariana. I'm in heaven.
I don't know any of them.
They look very cute too.
Yeah, I know they're made of rice.
Oh yeah, like they're mostly made of rice flour.
Rice flour, but that is something that we don't know.
No, we need to educate ourselves a bit more. And over here you can see all of these different types of candies that I have absolutely no idea how they are, but I think they're very yummy. They all look very tempting. Oh, lychee. That one I want. I love lychee.
This is hard candy, and there is gummy bears.
Okay. Well, we can take both. I think I'm gonna go home with bags of goodies.
Yeah, this is like soft.
Oh, okay, so this is like gummies, and this one is hard.
This is hard.
Okay. Yeah. You can also find all kinds of frozen products like dumplings and all the other types that I personally don't know, I admit. And there is hot sauce also, more dumplings.
They have like meat, pork.
Very interesting.
Vegetarian.
Oh, there's vegetarian, dumpling. All the other like I think those are, this is like, could be tofu, usually soya, yeah. And even though we are in a Japanese supermarket, we have a piece of the state of Maranhão, Guaraná Jesus. Wow. We
you.
tried this in our videos in Maranhão. If you have not watched it, you should definitely watch those videos. And this drink also is very good.
And everything else.
All the other Fanta flavors. Cherry, pineapple. Wow. This is another part that I would definitely want to entertain myself. I have no idea. I know sake, but all the other alcoholic beverages from Japan, I don't know them. Very interesting. And the packaging is also very cute. Amazing. And an interesting fact is even the traffic lights for pedestrians, they are in Asian signs.
Like it's just like the portal.
Yeah, it's like a portal. It's like red or green. Also, there are a lot of coffee shops. Like this one, 89 degrees Celsius is one of the famous ones. And it is 89 degrees because apparently, I didn't know, but 89 degrees Celsius is the optimal temperature to make coffee. So they named it 89. And also here you have a lot of sweets. Very, very nice. Beautiful. My God, I love the presentation. So there is the coffee shop Café Sol. Then there is this one. Then there is We Coffee. We heard that We Coffee, sometimes there is a lineup to even get inside. People were in line for what? For like 1 hour or so? 2 hours to get into that coffee shop.
But I think it was just a hype, like when they start opening here somehow.
Okay, yeah.
But now we see you can come here and you can just go in.
They open at 9. We are here at like around 11 a.m. But you can see there's a rope here, so I think even until now there is going to be lineups. Let's check it out. So we got 4 different ones we ordered, but we're not taking them now because unfortunately only 40 minutes it can be outside of the fridge. So we're gonna pay and they're gonna keep it for us and after we just come and pick it up because otherwise it's gonna melt and now for us it's too early to take it with us. We got a tiramisu cup, the heart, lemon, and I don't know the 4th one that Mariana took. And as you can see, it's already getting more crowded. When we came in it was less people, now it's starting to get crowded. Let's go to the next place. Now back in the main square, these are all the food stands. There is one thing I really wanted to show you guys. Let me see if I find the stand for Pastel. Okay, this stand is for Pastel. Pastel is made all over Brazil, but the history is
the pastel was brought by the Japanese to Brazil, so it is something like many people they don't know, but it actually came with the Japanese.
Yeah, now everywhere in Brazil you eat pastel, and most of the time you take a pastel and you drink it with
sugarcane juice,
which is amazing. It's really nice. Okay, what did we get, Mariana?
Pastel, meat pastel, and sugarcane juice.
And
lychee
bubble tea. When you come to Japanese neighborhood, you have to try all of these goodies. So let's see, there are also a lot of sauces here that a lot of people are putting on the pastel, and there is little salad also that you can have. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this sauce, which is barbecue sauce. The meat is a bit down, but you can see. Also, to show you, this is how the pastel is made. It's a dough and they just deep fry it, but inside there's different fillings like meat or shrimp or cheese. So this is how it's made. How is it, Mariana? All right, after pastel you have to try the popsicle also, which is this one, Melona, but they don't have it here. But we just came to see this supermarket as well while we're here and show it to you guys. And here you have more candies. My god. And this one is a mayonnaise that is very famous. They say it's a very good quality mayonnaise. We're gonna try one. We're gonna take one just to taste it, see how it is. Okay, this is a popsicle also, melon popsicle, that everybody says has to be tried when you come here. So, Mariana is going to taste. Yeah?
It smells really good.
Yeah? Approve?
It's really good.
Amazing. Let me see. Now it's my turn. Oh wow, yeah. Very strong, good melon smell. I have decided to come to Liberdade every day from now on for dessert.
For the melon popsicle.
For everything, there's a lot of goodies. Everywhere you go, it's full. Chocolate, popsicle, candies, everything. Now, this one is also approved and tried. We will continue.
Japanese immigration in Brazil officially started in 1908 when the first boat arrived here in São Paulo, and then the last boat came in 1973 and it was when the last boat actually arrived, so the last batch of immigrants arrived here in Brazil. During this period from 1908 to 1973, 200,000 immigrants from Japan arrived here in Brazil. In the end of the 1800s, Japan started opening its economy, and they started modernizing the agriculture in the country. So a lot of Japanese, they start like losing their lands, they start like not being able to pay taxes, so they migrated to the cities. Then the cities in Japan start being very saturated and no jobs for everybody. The Japanese government decided that it was interesting to start like making immigration agreements with other countries like Peru, US, Taiwan, Korea at the time. So all of these countries started receiving Japanese because they couldn't survive in their own country. And Brazil was one of these countries. Today there is around 1.5 million Japanese in Brazil, mostly in São Paulo, Paraná and Mato Grosso do Sul. but also there is a big population in the second place would be the US, mostly in California and Hawaii. Another very interesting thingy that I grew up here and we always heard it was the words Issei, Nisei and Sansei. So, and then we learn that Issei is the Japanese immigrant, is the one who arrives in the other country. Nisei is the first generation, so Japanese born in another country. Sansei is the grandkids of the immigrants. And I'm just saying that because I grew up with listening and hearing these words, because we were always among like the Japanese immigrants at school and everywhere, and we always had heard these words, but actually I didn't even know what that means. And now I heard and I learned, and I find it so interesting.
See, more interesting facts brought to you by global citizens. Let's enjoy Liberdade even more. Okay, one thing we just noticed is that it is impossible that you come to Liberdade and you don't spend money. If you have been here and you haven't spent money, leave us comments down below to see what is the secret. Maybe it was the 100th time that you were coming here, but it's impossible, no? You go around, you see so many different things and so many very, very good products, and even the prices are really good.
Yeah, very reasonable.
And it's impossible that you don't spend money here. So be prepared. If you come here, have your cards and your cash with you. So obviously you have other drinks too, like bubble tea and all kinds of restaurants with typical Japanese food that you can see the menu, and there are so many different very, very tempting restaurants. But we wanted to also show you one more supermarket, which is a Korean supermarket actually, Korea Mart, and a lot of Hello Kitty products apparently. Let's go see it. So here you find a lot of teas, and look at the packaging of these. My god, amazing. Metal, then there's the other one. Wow. And a variety of flavors. They're all different types of tea. Amazing. Wow. Oh, this is a collection of 12 different flavors. Wow. Alright, so I am going to taste the very sour candy that we bought, just to see how dangerous it is. So it comes in a package. Full package is like this, and then they are packaged individually also. Let's see. Wish me luck.
It is like lemon flavor.
Lemon flavor is supposed to be sour in the beginning and then become sweet. But the sourness is supposed to be very strong. Oh yeah, it's sour but already gone. Oh, it's good.
It's sweet.
It's good for early in the morning if you want to wake up, you know. Just have it, not sweet yet, but the sourness goes down. Oh yeah, it gets much better. It's just there's a kick in the beginning and then after that it's definitely manageable. Recommended. Big time. One more interesting store is this store, Liberdade or the Sun bookstore. Here you can find all kinds of Japanese books. So this is another thingy that you can go and buy books and everything else. And one more supermarket that has all kinds of Asian products. This is a mix of Japanese, Chinese, Korean, everything, and it's located right in front of the square. So let's go see this one too, just to add it to the list. So here they have products, as it's written on the wall. I think they have products from China, Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, and the US. Okay, so this ends our video of the visit to the neighborhood of Liberdade. We hope that you enjoyed it. We had a blast, bought a lot of goodies. Did you enjoy it, Mariana?
Yes, and if you come to São Paulo, you have to come here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for me, happy wife, happy life, and me too. I'm sure I'm gonna be very happy with all the goodies that I bought. But don't forget also about the culture, history, and knowing about the background of all the places that you visit. That's very important too. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. Ciao.